Hi, my name is Shiraz Balolia, and I'm the founder and owner CEO of Grizzly Industrial Inc. I started Grizzly in 1983 with a goal to cut out the middleman and sell directly to the end user, and we've successfully done that. This year, 2023, marks the 40th anniversary of our business, and over the years, we've served millions of customers, and for that, I thank you. For the 40th anniversary, we've done some machines, but I thought, why not bring on an affordable item that anyone can use and it's useful. These center finding rulers, I use them all the time. I thought, why not bring out a set that is really affordable and offer it as a 40th anniversary special. So that's what we've done. They're very easy to use. I'm going to show you how to use them. So today I'm going to be building a couple mallets. The first mallet is what I call the 5-minute mallet. Anyone can build in their shop in 5 to 10 minutes. Simple mallet using a simple head and basically a dowel rod. Once we're done with that, we'll go on to a mallet that's more Shiraz style. There's a small metalworking part that I'll also be doing, so let's go ahead and start. We're going to go ahead and start with the 5-minute mallet. Okay, I've got all the parts laid out for the projects. These are Bubinga, just had a piece laying around, so I didn't measure them. I felt they were the right size. So before we go on to the lathe, I'm going to go ahead and find the center. And we're going to mark that. So I'm going to go ahead and take this piece of dowel rod. It's a 1-inch dowel rod. I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to round off the one corner. Let's go to the lathe. A safety tip here is that you make sure that your sleeves are completely rolled up and out of the way, because if they get caught on a chuck, you can lose an arm. That's just, it's a machine after all. Now we're going to turn this around. So we want to go 7/8 on this. Do a test fit. Oh yeah, look at that. It's going to be a press fit. It's perfect. Okay, so this is done. So let's take this to the drill press and drill that hole. This is a sign of a good fit. Okay, so I'm going to be putting two 1/8-inch pins in here just so we don't want the head flying off. So again, I need to use the center finder. Let's take this to the shaper and we're going to round these corners off to make it look pretty. Beauty. Done. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a dab of this crazy glue on here. This tape on it just in case it decided to go crazy on me. Let's go set it up on the mill to face off these pin heads sticking out. So I'm just going to put a clear wood finish on this. 5-minute mallet. Before we go to the slightly exotic hammer or mallet, I'm going to show you how it's useful in metalworking as well. Say you want to put 2 holes in here, you want these screws set inside 4 inches apart. So I go by the lines. You got 2.5 and 3 lines, 2.5 and 5 lines. So you go 4 lines. So that's your center line. So let's go over to the mill and set it up. So I'll go 2 inches this way and 2 inches that way. I want the heads to be countersunk, just under 375. So we got 2 inches left. Now I'm going to go to the other side. There's 2 inches exactly. It's through. So now we're going to change that to a 3/8 of an inch bit. We're going to bring this and zero it out. So we'll go 255. Oh yeah, Beautimus Maximus. Look at that. Perfect. So we're going to start on the next mallet. It's going to be a little more exotic. So let's go ahead and cut this off and take it to the lathe and machine it down to size. This is the mark we're cutting it to, so I'll stop when we get here. The handle is done. Look at that. Feels so good. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the center finding ruler and mark the centers on both sides and for the hole where this is going to fit in. Let's start with that process here. 2 lines under, 3/16. Just the center mark right there. Okay, that's where we'll drill the hole here. Let's go to the mill. Okay, so I want to measure this. It's 1.3. And then I'm going to use a 1/2 inch cutter, so you deduct a 1/2 inch from there. So that's 0.800. So I've got the center marked on the part. 2 is equal to 0.400. 400 thousandths is what we want to go on either side using a 1/2 inch cutter. So first what we'll do is find the center. And so I'm going to go ahead and zero the Y and X. Here. This is what happens when you have a metal worker doing woodwork. You get measurements within a thousandth of an inch. Usually unnecessary for woodwork, but those are my machining practices. All right, so we got the slots cut in for both sides for the brass. Now we'll head over to the drill press and drill that 1 inch hole. So the very next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to round these corners off for the hammer head. So even though this is a pretty tight fit, I'm going to make 2 pins out of some remnant material I had. I made one. It's out of Makassar ebony. So let's go ahead and make the second one. There it is. So we're going to use this 5/16 brad point bit from our Grizzly brad point bit set. You can see my face through those holes. Let's pound this first guy in. And these guys are going to be in there for life. It's going to be a nice little mallet. So the reason for these holes, so that the epoxy can bond better. I don't want these jaws to be messed up, so I'm going to go ahead and put the wax paper prep up here. So I'm going to use this 5-minute epoxy. Make sure you mix it thoroughly. I'm going to go ahead and butter the toast. You see how it's all going inside the holes. That's what you want. We'll do the wood part. All right. It's a good thing I taped everything because you can see some ended up here on the handle. I don't know how that happened. So it's important to do as much taping as possible because that stuff gets around everywhere. Alrighty, the epoxy is dry, and we hope, and we're going to go ahead and cut off the extra brass that's sticking out. So let's get started. Okay, we're on the final step. This one, the 5-minute mallet, came out pretty good. This guy has been sanded and finished, but we're going to do an oil finish on this. I'm going to remove any fingerprints or anything from the tape that we had on here. But for that, I use naphtha. So let's go ahead and do that. Quite liberal here. And it'll disappear, so you can start oiling pretty quickly right after that. Start with the oiling and greasing. Oh, look at that. Beauty. Too nice to be a mallet. So the question is, which one are you going to build? Both turned out very, very nice. So we covered the metalworking part, covered the, yeah, I think we covered everything.
Oh, I wasn't recording.
What?
Just kidding.